I'm Brent Musburger. We'll see you at halftime as the NFL Today continues on CBS. Have a nice afternoon, everybody.
Tonight at 10:30.
Thanksgiving Day football. Remember 1962, Roger Brown and his Detroit teammates made stuffing of Bart Starr, sacking him 11 times. The Lions upset the world champion Packers 26-14. Thanksgiving Day 1976, O.J. Simpson with the greatest single game of his brilliant career and the second greatest rushing day in NFL history. 273 yards. 2 years ago, Earl Campbell tormented the Dallas defense with 195 yards on the ground. This was the last time the Cowboys lost a regular season game here in Texas Stadium. Thanksgiving Day 1 year ago, Chicago and Detroit tied 17-17. This was the opening kickoff of the overtime period. Chicago's Dave Williams receives at his own 5-yard line, and he goes 95 yards for the winning score. The Bears hope for a similar result this afternoon against the Cowboys.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Chicago Bears versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Texas Thanksgiving afternoon as Texas Stadium is sold out for the 41st consecutive time for the match between the Bears and the Cowboys. The NFC's Eastern Division standings: Dallas 9-3, Philadelphia 9-3, followed by the Giants at 6-6. Good afternoon. I'm sure by now you've been wished a happy Thanksgiving, but we'd like to add our wishes to that too. I'm Pat Summerall. This is John Madden. And Coach, you're playing against the Chicago Bears, who are 3-9. How do you hang your hat on some way to get your team up?
Well, you know, it was interesting. Randy White yesterday was saying that Tom Landry this week has talked more about Walter Payton than he has any other player that the Cowboys have played this year. So I think Walter Payton's going to draw an awful lot of attention. You know, it's tough enough in this league, but when you have 11 of those white jerseys watching you on every move, that can draw a crowd. One
thing about playing on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, as the Cowboys have done traditionally for the last few years, it's a short week of preparation. How does that affect you?
It's something that the coaches hate before the game, and if you win the game, you love it after because you get the 10 days to get rested and ready for the next game. And Tom Landry's no different. Tom Landry says, boy, it's tough to get ready for Thanksgiving. We only had 2 days. And then Danny White, his quarterback, says, I love it. You know why? We have a short little game plan, just the stuff we're going to do, and it's a lot easier for the players. So let's kick this thing off.
And it'll be Raphael Septien to kick it off as the Bears won the toss, and they'll get the football first. Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. Cowboys 9-3. The Bears at the other end of that spectrum, 3-9. Raphael Septien, number 1. Emery Moorhead back deep for Chicago. Good kick. Moorhead at the 1. Outside the 20, hit down by Danny Spradlin. Here's the Bear offense. First of all, quarterback Vince Evans, Walter Payton and Matt Suhey, the runners. Ricky Watts and Brian Bashnagel, the 2 wide receivers. Robin Earl is the tight end. Albrecht Jackson, Neal, Emmanuel Sanders, and Keith Van Horn. Temperature game time 62 degrees. Sellout crowd, as I mentioned just a minute ago, and just a perfect day for football. Dallas goes immediately into that flex defense. Payton first to carry, and Payton breaks out of the pack out to about the 30, running hard. Here's the Dallas defense. First of all, the front 4. Ed Jones and Harvey Martin, the 2 ends, John Dutton and Randy White, the tackles. The linebackers, Hegman, Bruning in the middle, and D.D. Lewis. And finally, the young secondary, Walls, Thurman, Waters, and Mike Downs. Second down, Chicago. Payton got 8 on his first carry. 2nd and 2. Payton again. Out to the 45, where Dennis Thurman cracks him out of bounds.
We said they were going to key on Walter Payton, Pat, and they are, but on the 2 plays, he still gained some yardage in there. This time, we'll watch him here. It's a little counter. See, he starts into the right side, cuts back to the left. They get Harvey Martin to go down. See, he thought he was going to the right, cut back against the grain, and you give Walter Payton just a little edge, and he can make something happen. Whoa.
Indeed he can. First down, Bears just inside their own 45. Bashnagel swings in motion again. Payton again. Walter Payton underneath everybody for about 4 or 5. Mike Hegman made the tackle. Payton was running well, very well.
You know, last week the Chicago Bears only had 24 yards total offense, and they just about have that much on the first 3 plays. You know, when Irv Cross was talking to Walter Payton down on the sideline before the game in the pregame, couldn't you just feel that he was ready to go?
Sure did get that feeling, and you get that feeling even more now after those first 3 carries. Not done as well up until now this year, at least. You can see by those figures. There's Payton for the 4th consecutive time. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by D.D. Lewis and taken down by Harvey Martin from the other side finally.
You know, Dallas is not a blitzing team against a run. They use that flex defense, but I think they saw that Walter Payton was getting a little softness in the defense, so they came on a blitz that time, what they call a run blitz, a blitz to stop the run, as different from the pass blitz, which is a blitz to rush the passer, as different from some other kind of blitz.
I understand. 3rd and 6. Walter Payton flanked up to the right side near the offensive right tackle. Evans chased by White, and now Waters hits him. They say his arm had started forward. Benny Barnes came up with a football, but the Bears will have to punt.
Now, there was a different type of blitz. That was a safety blitz against the pass. But watch Randy White here, number 54. He comes through. They picked up the blitzers. They didn't pick up Randy White, and he flushed Vince Evans out of the pocket.
Waters was the next man on the scene who hit Evans just as he got rid of the football. Bob Parsons. James Jones back deep for Dallas. Parsons was kicking well in pregame, and he continues that streak. He hits this one. Ball bounces at the 2 and is down by the Bears at about that point. Bashnagel, I believe, the first man down. Nothing. Dallas will have the football when we come back. There, of course, is Tom Landry checking his own scouting report and ready list. Danny White, the Dallas quarterback, will set that Dallas offense in just a second. They'll set about 5 yards deep in his end zone. Dorsett stopped by Singletary after about a yard. Here's the Dallas offense. Danny White, the quarterback. Dorsett, Springs, Tony Hill, and Drew Pearson. The offensive line, Dupree, the tight end. Donovan, Scott, Rafferty, Peterson, and Jim Cooper, the right tackle. Bear defense, and we'll get into some of the unusual things they do as time allows. Sometimes they play 5 men up front. Sometimes they play only 4. Here's Danny White. That's what he's done so far this year. It's been a good year. 2nd and 10. Ron Springs perhaps lost a yard. Singletary again made the tackle.
It was another one of those run blitzes where Singletary was getting in that strong side off tackle hole to play hard against the run. Here comes that 5 defensive lineman situation we were talking about, Pat.
Why do they do this, John? Well, here's the defense first. Hampton, Osborne, Page, and Harris when they play the 4. The linebackers when they use 3, Wilson, Singletary, and Campbell. And the secondary. Now they have the 5 down linemen. To Dorsett, and Dorsett with some running room. Gets outside the 10, shy of a first down, and Danny White will have to stay in and punt. Doug Plank made the stop on Dorsett.
You know, Neil Armstrong was telling us last night that they put that 5 defensive lineman defense in primarily against the pass, and he found out that it's also been good against the run, so they're using it more and more.
Gary Fensick came off holding his shoulder, being looked at over on the sideline. Danny White, in addition to being a fine quarterback, is a fine punter. Jeff Fisher back deep for the Bears. White hits it. back to his 34. Trying to set up a return, trying to get to the outside, knocked out of bounds. Steve Wright belted him out of bounds. So after an exchange of punts, there is still no score between the Bears and the Cowboys. First quarter in Dallas. Pat Summerall with John Madden watching the Bears' second possession now. Ball at their own 44. Cowboys flex. Walter Payton, the ball carrier. Stacked up on the left side. The Cowboy defense. Well, just take a look at this. Those are the team defensive rankings. And look how far down we go before we get to Dallas. And yet they're tied for first place. Dallas number 25.
But there's one more statistic, and it's right here. The turnover ratio, I've always felt, is the most important statistic there is, and they're number 1 in that category, and that's why they're in first place, or tied for first place in the NFC Eastern Division.
Here was Payton again, and let's take another look at that. Payton on the ground directing traffic at the moment.
Here it is again. You know, and look at all these teams. There's 5 teams there. Dallas leads. They're tied with Cincinnati, both with plus 15. But of these 5 teams, 4 of them are leading or tied for their division.
And the Buccaneers only a game back.
They're all playoff contenders.
Third down for Chicago and 5. 49. And 7. Ball batted away at the last second by Charlie Waters. Ricky Watts, the intended receiver, but Waters, with that last second dive, knocked it away.
It was interesting what Charlie had to say in that interview before the game. He said, I really don't star in this defense. I just help hold it together. And he makes more plays maybe than he takes credit for, and that's one of them. But he's becoming a big pass rusher, a big blitzing safety now.
James Jones back deep for the Cowboys. Bob Parsons will punt for Chicago. Another good punt by Parsons. Jones is going to let it fly, and again it bounces backwards. And the Cowboys this time will operate from their 8-yard line as Harris downs it. Down very quickly as the defensive end. So still no score at Texas Stadium. The Bears and the Cowboys. A couple of outstanding punts by Bob Parsons.
He's had 2 great punts. You know, when you punt and you want the ball to continue going, to turn over, you want it to turn over to hit, and then the momentum takes it into the end zone. When you don't want it, you put it where it doesn't turn over and it hits and stops right there. And Bob Parsons has done that 2 times.
This one goes all the way back to about the 10-yard line. Here's Dorsett again, cutting back against the grain and struggling to get to the outside. He does. Dorsett for about 9. Otis Wilson took him out of bounds, but Tony continues to have an outstanding year.
He is really something. You know, he only weighs 185 pounds, and he says, if I let those guys get their hands on me, he said, I don't have a chance. He said, I have to set them up, hold them, get them flat-footed, and then outrun them. And he really does that, doesn't it?
So very quick, and getting those hands on him, easier said than done. 9 yards for Dorsett, 2nd and 1. Very quiet, sort of subdued at the moment. Full of turkey, I imagine. Jay Salvi in motion, and here's White. For Dupree down the middle. Billy Joe Dupree to the 40. First down, Cowboys. Reuben Henderson made the tackle. But Dallas moves upfield.
That's right where Danny White wanted to hit. The Bears are in a zone defense, and we see it again. He hits it right over the linebacker. We'll see Mike Singletary there. See, it's over his head. Between the linebackers and the safety, we see Fensick right there. That's Doug Plank. That's where you want to hit. You know, and you know they talk about layers between the linebacker, the layer of the linebacker, and the layer of the secondary.
Good throw from White. First down, Dallas. Their own 40. 8:10 left in the first quarter. Here is Ron Springs over the left side. Nothing doing. Mike Singletary again.
Ron Springs had his biggest day last week. He gained 85 yards, and that's been the most yardage that he's gained as a Cowboy. And he said he's finally making the adjustment. He'd always been a halfback or tailback before, and you usually run the ball, and fullback is primarily a blocker, and he's made the adjustment well.
And he has that, or gives the Cowboys that added dimension of being a fine pass receiver. 2nd and 10. There's fake a blitz. Here's Dorsett. Dorsett looking for some place to go. Singletary again led the Bear tacklers.
I'm sure that we were talking about the Cowboys keying on Walter Payton, and I'm sure that the Bears are keying on this man right here, Tony Dorsett. Wherever he goes, especially on 1st and 2nd down, he's going to draw a crowd. Now we see Singletary come off, the rookie, and we see the 5 defensive linemen and 5 defensive backs in the game.
Mike Hartenstein lines up as the right defensive end. Harris is the left. Todd Bell, the extra defensive back. There's Harris moving inside. Now sometimes he backs off in pass coverage. He does it there. Right. Pass is caught by Tony Hill. What a throw and what a catch.
Look at Tony Hill there. He's upset. He thought he had a touchdown there. He wanted to score. We'll see a shoving match. That's Reuben Henderson, number 20, the rookie with him. They're going stride for stride. A great throw by Danny White and a great catch by Tony Hill. And you can see why Tony Hill was upset, because Henderson just flicked his ankle to get him down. It would have been a touchdown.
All the way down to the 17-yard line of Chicago. Cowboys on the move. No scores yet. But Dallas getting closer and closer. A reverse to Hill. Shakes away from one tackler. Now looking for some other place to go. Finally, he gets back to the 20-yard line. And again, Mike Singletary made the tackle.
And one thing about these Cowboy receivers, they can all, of course, get open and catch the ball, but they're very good at running with it after they catch it and running reverses. We just saw Tony Hill. Last week, Drew Pearson ran a reverse, and of course, they always have Butch Johnson over there that can make something happen. Plus his quake.
When he scores a touchdown, he'll show you some moves.
Yeah, I love that. We need excitement in this game.
2nd and 13. Ball back at the 20. Dorsett deep in the eye. Hand off Dorsett, who blasts down to the 15. Again, it's Singletary and Osborne who stopped Tony.
Hey, one thing, early in the first quarter of a football game, the running is never as successful as it will be later in the 3rd and 4th quarters, because you tend to wear a defense down. You get them just a half a step slower, then Dorsett breaks those type of runs.
Number 82, of course, is Alan Page. The last year of his great career. Here's the shotgun formation on 3rd down and 8 for Dallas. Struggles for his life. Alan Page is the man who's there first. And Hampton second.
You were just talking about Alan Page there, and he switched from the right side to the left side, and he made a nice move to get by. He got by Kurt Peterson there, it looked like. See if we can see it. You see, he says now he comes. It was a stunt move. He started. Hampton went to the inside. Number 82 there, Alan Page. He started to the outside, went around the tackle. It wasn't Peterson, it was Jim Cooper, and he got in and got Danny White before he could throw the ball.
15 years, a defensive tackle.
Be a lawyer next year.
41 yards away with number 41 holding is Raphael Septien. Speaking of having good years, Septien is having a dandy as well. And so Dallas gets on the scoreboard first. That field goal from 41 yards out by Raphael Septien makes it 3-0. In addition to leading the NFC in scoring, Raphael Septien just set a new Cowboy record for the most field goals in one season and tied the all-time club record, which had been held by Mike Clark. Good kickoff again. Moorhead comes out of the end zone. It's outside the 15 to about the 16, where Steve Wilson takes him down. Angelo King down there to help out. First down, Bears. Their own 16-yard line.
Now we see how that field possession turns around. The Cowboys started twice inside their own 10. They were able, with a couple big plays, to get out, get a field goal, and now the Bears have the bad field position.
From their own 16, 1st and 10, Chicago. Nagel again goes in motion. And Payton goes the other way. Walter Payton does get around the corner. Was knocked out of bounds by Michael Downs, but he got good yardage. Good block by Matt Suey in front of him. Payton obviously has been most of the Bear offense so far. 2nd and 4. Ball out to 23 now. 3:50 left to play in the first quarter. Dallas leading 3-0. Payton again. Picked up by Mike Hegman.
You know, it's interesting what they're trying to do. It seems like just about every offensive play that the Bears have had, they've run Walter Payton, and they're working inside. It looks like what they're doing is working at the flex defensive lineman in there. But eventually and ultimately, if they're going to move the ball, they're going to have to pass it.
The flex defensive lineman being the one that's off the line of scrimmage.
Right, and in the Cowboys scheme against the run, they'll have 2 on the line of scrimmage and 2 off the line of scrimmage.
This time, short yardage, everybody's up. Again. And Payton, with that surge, almost broke out of the pack. Steve Wilson made the hit.
You know, when you see a Walter Payton like this, and we'll see it again, the biggest thing, you see how he's starting from the I formation, his shoulders going into the line are square. So now he has great vision. He can see the holes, and then he can just make that little veer to the left to get in and make that first down. I think that's a much better formation for the Bears and Walter Payton than split backs.
9 carries, 45 yards already for Payton. Might break some more records. Evans fakes this time to Payton. Going for Watts. Just overthrow. Dennis Thurman back there. Evans a little disturbed with himself. Michael Downs also back for Dallas.
I don't think Vince Evans should feel bad about that one. He had to do that. You have to loosen up this defense. Once you start and you just run and run and run, the defense tends to bunch up. Now watch this. He really has the safety beat. He has Mike Downs beat. See, the ball is over Downs' head and just about a step too much for Ricky Watts.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Matt Suey, the other running back there with Walter Payton, still hasn't carried the ball. Evans will put it up again. Now he has to run. Fumble. Bears have the football, I believe, somewhere at the bottom of that pile.
I think they have it now to the side of the pile. I don't think there's any ball at the bottom of the pile. I think the ball was out here by Noah Jackson. Well, the official has it now. But it looked like it just popped out of that pile right to one of the Bears. I think Noah Jackson ended up with it. We'll see it again. Now, we watch the pass rush here and see Vince Evans is looking to the right. Now he has to put the ball down. Now, that's okay. And just as he started to run, looked like it was knocked out of his hand by Randy White. Now watch it bounce out. Here it'll come. Right there it is. Boom, and the Bears get it.
That's Mike Cobb who wound up with it finally. So it'll be 3rd down Chicago. The Cowboys fake the blitz. They jump offside. Evans with good protection this time. Again going deep for Watts, but penalty markers down all over the place.
I think that was just a practice play, Pat. I think the whistle blew before the ball was snapped, and whatever the penalty is, that play won't count at all. We know what the penalty was. It was illegal motion against the Bears.
There is the rest of the officiating crew.
Delay of the game. Offense, number 8, 3rd down.
Oh, they didn't get the ball off in 30 seconds. That's something that over the year Dallas has had some problems with. In fact, they don't keep that statistic, but I would bet that the Cowboys lead the league in that penalty.
I would think so. A minute 45 left in the first quarter. 3-0 Dallas. Again, they fake blitz or still blitz. And it's not a fake. Evans. Everson Walls had a chance for his 11th interception of the year. Couldn't find the handle.
See who was there. As we see, Everson Walsh-Guelph, he darn near did have his 11th, but you see who put the pressure on Vince Evans. It was Charlie Waters, who on passing downs is becoming more of a pass rusher than he is a pass defender.
Bob Parsons, that's James Jones back deep for Dallas. Parsons standing back at his own 13-yard line. 1:41 left to play first quarter.
We want to turn this one over now.
He doesn't. Jones on the run. And Jones breaks away from one tackler, but Bashnigal takes him down. Coming up, the NFL today. This is next Sunday. The Rams at Pittsburgh, Washington, Buffalo, Green Bay at Minnesota, Tampa Bay at New Orleans, and St. Louis at New England. And the doubleheader games, the late games, the Giants at San Francisco and the Atlanta Falcons at Houston, where we'll be. Check your local listings.
And with this playoff situation in the wild card, every game is a very meaningful one. Whew.
First down, Dallas. Their own 47. They lead 3-0. Fake to Dorsett outside. It goes to Tony Hill. And Hill gets about 6 out of that hitch pattern. Reuben Henderson made the stop.
This is the one that we were talking about these Cowboy receivers. That they can, of course, run pass patterns deep. They can run reverses and run with the ball. Then they like those little screen or hitch passes out there where they just get them the ball and let them run with it. That time, the screen didn't develop or get out in front of them.
Just over a minute left in the first quarter. Dallas 3, Chicago nothing. Doug Crosby is the tight end there on the right side. The pitch is back to Dorsett. Nothing doing. Dorsett did a lot of juking, but Dan Hampton ran him out of bounds.
He's even exciting when he just jukes, isn't he? There's Dan Hampton. Now, there's a big guy from Arkansas. Right. You didn't know him, did you, Nana?
He was a little bit after me.
Well, he was after you. You know what his nickname is? Danster. First name's Dan, you know, after Monster, Manster, Danster.
That's right. There's Dan.
Danster Hampton. See, that's half Dan and half Monster.
And Randy White is what? Manster.
He's Manster. They'd make good reindeer for the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Well, Donner and Blitzen and Danster and Manster.
3rd and 5. There's White for plenty of time. Down the middle. I believe it's Butch Johnson. Finsick. And now what do they say?
They're saying incomplete. It's going to be interesting. That's that new possession rule that they have. Again, he can't have possession until he has the ball and both feet hit the ground. I would imagine the officials are saying that both feet didn't hit the ground. Butch Johnson is saying, I had it. Butch didn't score on that one, and we'll see what he does. Now watch what Butch does. He calls this the California Quake. I love this. Watch these movements. That's the old California Quake, and then the Texas 6-shooter, I think.
If he scores today, that's what we'll see. That was last week. White back in punt formation. Good looking high kick. And this one sails on into the end zone. Bounces in there on one hop. Benny Barnes was the first man down there. NCAA basketball. NCAA basketball.
Right.
Michigan at Arkansas or Georgia at San Francisco. Check your local listings for those games. The season premiere coming up this Saturday. NCAA basketball on CBS. Bears take over at their own 20.
Maybe a little first down pass would be nice here.
To the left side, and Walter Payton could be gone. Cuts back inside. Payton still on his feet. Finally taken down by Michael Downs in Dallas territory at their 41.
Did you see that move? I'll tell you, Michael Downs caught him, but he had to catch him because Michael Downs was the guy that missed him on the line of scrimmage. Did he make a move on him? Let's watch it again. Now watch right here. See, Thurman gets blocked. Now watch Downs here. He gets caught flat-footed. Then he makes that move sideways out to the left, and boom, up the field, and he's gone. Look at that. Now, you see how he carries the ball out there? That's okay because there's no one there to tackle him. And to make great moves and have balance, you can't always keep that ball in tight to your body.
That's the end of the first quarter. Payton has huge hands. He can carry the ball like that and be reasonably safe because his hands are so big. That's the end of the first quarter with Dallas leading 3-0. Walter Payton has 10 carries for 84 yards already. We're just starting on the first play of the second quarter.
And the Bears have only had 15 plays, and Walter Payton has carried 10 of them.
Back in the eye, and he carries again. Almost around the corner. Downs hurts him out of bounds this time.
Downs said, "You got me the last play. I'm going to get you this time." Now watch what happened to Downs in the last play. Here he comes over. He says, "I got good position. My arm's out. I just have to wrap my... Where is he?" There he goes. Out to the left and up the field. He didn't do it the next time, though, did he?
You think he shut his eyes?
I don't know.
I don't know if it would have mattered with a move like that. Second down 8 for Chicago. Cowboys lead 3-0. Suey. And again, just over his fingertips, Bob Brunig on the coverage.
Well, Vince Evans is, he's had 2 shots so far deep, and he's just been just a little long. And that happens to a quarterback. If you have a little nervousness, you tend to throw the ball long. And, it was interesting. Dennis Thurman, the cornerback for the Cowboys, played at college with Vince Evans, and he says when he gets his confidence, he's really something, but he doesn't look like he has it now.
So it'll be third down there. Vince Evans calls the cadence and drops the throw. Evans has a man open.
I'll tell you, he threw that one.
Sorry, John. Brooks Williams is the man who made the catch.
Watch this one. This ball didn't stay in the air very long. There's no way on an out pattern that a quarterback can throw the ball too hard. You want to get it, boom. He sees Williams, zips it right there. That was a perfect pass.
And you can see the concentration from Williams as he watched that ball all the way into his hands. 4-year pro. Marjoram out wide to the right. First down, Bears. The handoff to Suey. Suey finds a way to get down inside the 20. That's his first carry of the day. It was a good one.
I think now the Bears are starting to get a little mixture, and that's what they need against this Cowboy defense. You have to throw some on first down. You have to run some to Payton. You have to change up and give it to Suey once in a while so they don't get a true hard read on you.
4 yards for Suey. 2nd and 6. Ball at the 19-yard line. Here's Payton again. Payton trying to get to the outside. This time he jumped into the arms of a Cowboy linebacker, I think.
It was Mike Hegman. And again, it was one of those blitzes, a run blitz where they take their outside linebackers, Hegman and D.D. Lewis, and instead of letting them stand outside and read, they bring them tough outside to tackles. I like that kind of talk. Bring the linebackers tough outside to tackles. Put a helmet on.
Kind of exciting. Third down, 7. 13:40 left in the first half. Cowboys leading the Bears 3-0. Here comes that Cowboy blitz, and Evans has no hope. Charlie Waters was the first man there again.
Charlie Waters, again, is probably going to end up the leading sack man on this Cowboy defense. He's really something. You know what happens? They start to worry about the inside guys like Dutton, like White. You see, they double Randy White and did what? They didn't block Charlie Waters. Look at Too Tall. He's in there. He got 3 or 4 guys on his arm. Charlie says, this is fun when you run through there and no one blocks you.
Ravetto is the Bear field goal kicker. Avellini the holder. This is 44 yards out. And that should get it. And done. And we have a tie football game. The Chicago Bears 3, Dallas 3, and 13:05 left to play at Texas Stadium in the second quarter. Little conference over on the Bear sideline. Dick Stanfield. There's on the opposite side of the field, Charlie Waters. A little oxygen.
Oxygen. That's what happens when you play that many years in the National Football League.
Rivetto. James Jones from his 2. Jones cuts back inside to about the 24. Cowboys take over. Moorhead, the Bear down to make the stop.
You know, Rivetto and Raphael Septien, both the kickers in this game, went to the same college. That's a college she'll probably go to. It's a good college for kickers. If you want to go to a college, kids, listen, if you want to go to a good college to be a kicker, side style, now listen up here, then Southwest Louisiana has put 2 kickers in this game in the NFL.
But that's only if you want to be a soccer-style kicker.
They want to grow up to be Cowboys.
White will throw on first down. And goes to Drew Pearson. And Pearson is rocked by Doug Plank.
I'll tell you, that is the toughest thing in the world for a receiver, what just happened to Drew Pearson there. He has to expose himself, outstretched arms, and you have a safety like Doug Plank coming. Now watch this. You see he's led to the outside. He has a step here, but Doug Plank is outside. Now watch him as he stretches. You see that position there that he's in? He's completely exposed. He didn't feel it nor see it coming, and he had no protection at all.
Those 2 Bear safety men, both are fine tacklers. Tough. Plank and fencing.
Drew Pearson is tough, too.
He sure is.
Watch this. Watch this. You see, he didn't feel it or see it coming. He wasn't in a position to tense to protect himself. One thing, he had that right arm down, so he didn't take that shot in the ribs.
Took it more on the shoulder.
Right.
Had a big day last week.
What did he tell you yesterday about the coffee?
Said Tom Landry got tired of the fact that he utilized him in that big day last week. Got tired of drinking that black coffee and decided to put some cream in it. Woods Johnson has replaced Pearson now. Five down linemen for the Bears. Ron Springs, the ball carrier. He doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage as the rookie Singletary from Baylor has had an outstanding first half.
I'll tell you, he got a quick read on that one. He was right up there. Now, look at him. He's excited. He's a typical middle linebacker. He likes to get up there tight, key that run, get in there and make something happen. He did on that play. He got an awfully quick read where he was going.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 Dallas. 3-3 game. Mike Singletary, rookie linebacker from Baylor. Pearson's back in the game, by the way, and split wide to the left. Cowboys utilizing 3 wide receivers. White intended for Jay Salvi. Looking right back into that bright sunlight. Can't find a handle. Finsick was the Bear defender.
Between those 2 safeties, Doug Plank and Gary Finsick, there's a flag on the play, too. It looks like it'll be a holding penalty against the Cowboys, but I'll tell you, when they hit, once a receiver catches a ball, they cover like safeties, but they hit like linebackers.
You remember those 2 are back there.
Holding.
Jeff Fisher.
Number 64. Refused. 4th down.
Penalty against Rafferty, who will snap the ball back to Danny White now. Fisher back deep for the Bears. White's gotten off a couple of cannon shot punts too. That one was a bad drop. Bashnagel signals fair catch and makes it. The 43-yard line. So the Bears take over in good shape with the score tied 3-3. 11:51 left to go in the first half. This stadium. Score is Chicago 3, Dallas 3. We have 11:51 left to play in the first half. 44-yard field goal by Rivetto, a 41-yarder by Raphael Septien. And that's been it. Vince Evans, the Bear quarterback, Walter Payton and Suey behind him. Now they go with 2 tight ends. Give it back to Payton. Waters comes up to force. Payton whirls around, gets in Dallas territory.
Waters was right up on the line of scrimmage, and he was blocked very well by Matt Suhey on that play. Let's see what happened inside of Waters. Now watch Too Tall there. He's being blocked down upon by Earl. You see, he gets to the outside, but he can't get out where Walter Payton's going, although he forced Payton outside.
Waters finally makes the play. Payton still got 6 yards. They make it 2nd and 4. Suhey this time. Hit by Harvey Martin. Right at the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten a yard out of it.
And right there, I think, is what takes more out of Walter Payton than running the ball, is when he has to lead and block for Matt Suhey.
Dorsett, 26 yards, 7 carries. Walter Payton, 91 yards on 13.
I think great backs get highly motivated when they play against each other, don't you? You see that. I know Otis Anderson in St. Louis is definitely that way.
Payton again. And Payton struggles for a first down. Not only is he quick, he is also very strong.
You imagine last week they only gained 24 yards total offense, and Walter Payton almost has 100 in a quarter and a half today.
Bears move into Dallas territory, get the first down. It's at the 43-yard line of Dallas. Watts comes out. Bears again go with 2 tight ends. Mike Cobb and Robin Earl. Payton hit this time after a couple by Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker.
Walter Payton, he doesn't like to have someone grabbing on those legs. Do you see him? It was Randy White down at the bottom of the pile, and he was telling him, stay off my legs. Now watch Randy White here. He starts off in a flex position. You see that stance? He starts off, he's reading to the outside, blocks up the hole to the outside where he can't come outside, and then comes back in and stuffs it in. Now watch at the bottom there. You see what he did? He had Payton's leg there, and that's what Payton was saying. Hey, man, you tackle me, get off me.
Evans goes back to pass, chased by Too Tall Jones, and tripped by Jones. Finally gets rid of it to Payton. Payton gets up to his feet and struggles back almost to the original line of scrimmage. They may say that Evans was in the grasp, although it doesn't look like it now.
No, they may, but they didn't. It looked like he was going to. He was standing there. The referee, Chuck Hibberling, was there. Looked like he was going to say that the ball is down there, but they let him have it. Now let's watch Ed Too Tall Jones here. He's against the rookie #1 draft choice of the Bears, Keith Van Horn, who's not a bad pass protector. See, but he got beat on that one. Now watch right there. See, he said he wasn't down, although his knees looked like they may have been on the ground when he threw the ball.
It sure did look like it. It's 3rd down and about 10. 8.5 minutes left first half. Cowboys again have a lot of folks up on the line of scrimmage. Here comes that blitz again. Evans gets rid of it. Intended for Brooks Williams. Anthony Dickerson was the man who hurried Vince Evans.
It was also Charlie Waters again. He had to throw away from or over Charlie Waters. That defense that we see coming off the field now, when you have to pass and they know you're going to pass, I think they're as tough as anyone in the league.
They put some pressure on you. James Jones goes back deep for Dallas, back at the 10. Bob Parsons. This one off the side of his foot. And out of bounds. Parsons hit 2 dandies earlier, but that one wasn't one of his best. Score is still tied at 3. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving Day. 3-3 in Dallas between the Bears and the Cowboys. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 8:15 left first half. Here is Dorsett looking for some room and not finding much. A couple of yards is all. Mike Singletary again made the initial contact.
You know, and that's the thing that the Bears wanted to do, is try and contain or control Tony Dorsett on the first down so that they could give them their different type defenses on 2nd and 3rd down. And they're doing a good job so far, and that's why the score is 3-3.
Tom Landry, who has gone back to calling the plays himself. Shuttling wide receivers with tight ends to get the message to Danny White. Passing down, Springs comes out of the backfield. White chased by Hampton, looking and throwing back across the field for Cosby. Cosby had made an adjustment, but it wasn't the right one. Gary Campbell was the nearest Bear to him.
You know what happened? He was trying to throw the ball to Ron Springs. Someone grabbed Ron Springs on the line of scrimmage. Danny White couldn't throw it to him, so he had to scramble and try and find something downfield.
Cowboys look flat, and the Bears are playing well.
Now here's the defense that we're talking about, where they have the 5 defensive linemen in there, 1 linebacker, and 5 defensive backs. Now number 90 here, Al Harris, sometimes he comes off and covers.
Shift over. It's Page in front of the center. Now it Springs in motion. The heat was on White. He's going to take off. Danny White is rocked. He is really popped. The ball is loose. Still loose. And the Bears come up with it. White is down. Danny White was really hit, and he's still down on his back.
It looks like it's his right shoulder. He really was popped.
Doug Plank, by the way, made the recovery for the Bears. Quarterbacks like White, not used to getting hit like that. I don't know who is.
No, they're not, and you usually try and, not have them run, or if they do run, get to the outside. Danny White couldn't do that. Now watch, he sees he has the hole up the middle. He has to run and or escape up the middle. Now he has a little outside there. He stumbled there. See, he couldn't get to the sidelines. He's looking at the sidelines. Now look at that shot that he takes. It's not the first one. It's not the one from Al Harris. It was the second shot that he took on his right shoulder. It was by Doug Plank, it looks like. See if we can see it here. Again, now it's not, see, he gets hit Harris here, but watch right there on his right shoulder by Doug Plank coming in. No, that's Gary Fensick. Excuse me.
Right.
The other safety. Doug Plank got the ball.
Right.
But that was right on the shoulder.
The backup quarterback for the Cowboys, the first one would be Glenn Carano, and the other Gary Hogaboom. Tom Landry shows some concern with reason.
All over America.
Dr. Marvin Knight working on Danny White over on the Dallas sideline. He really took a vicious hit.
Looks like he's reaching up underneath the shoulder pads to check that right shoulder, and we'll see what happens. See, the first hit wasn't there. It was a second one by Gary Fensick that caught his right shoulder. Watch it right here. Now we see Al Harris there. Now watch right there, right on the shoulder. And that was the one that got Danny White, and that's what they're checking now.
And that, of course, is his throwing arm or shoulder. First down, Chicago. Dallas 41. Walter, Payton, and Suey. Evans going right to work. Evans rifles down the sideline. Pass complete to Ricky Watts. He is hit by Dennis Thurman, and Watts is down. Ricky Watts rocked by Dennis Thurman.
I tell you, the hitting in this game has really been ferocious this first half. These receivers, every time they're taking it, we see Ricky Watts get it right here. Now watch, he's up in the air again, no protection. He gets that one right from behind and then has to hit the ground. And I think they ruled that incomplete. That wasn't a completion, so bring that back. It'll be 2nd and 10. You know, we saw that happen to Ricky Watts.
Incomplete. There was no possession when the receiver hit the ground. 2nd down.
Exactly right, John. Watts is up now, and he got up. I started to say he got up steadily, but he didn't, did he?
He's still not steady. I'll tell you, that's one of those things where they get it both ways. They get it in the back when they're up in the air, and then they get another jolt when they hit the ground. This artificial turf is very, very hard. Now watch Watts here. See, he's up in the air. He has possession when he's in the air. See, now he takes that hit. Now watch the impact when he hits the ground there. Oof. See, and he didn't have control when both feet hit the ground.
That was a tough but legal hit. Meantime, they were still working on Danny White over on the Dallas bench.
See, he has those rib pads on, that flak rib protection. But again, it's his shoulder. It's not the ribs.
There's Watts. It'll be second and down. A second and 10, rather. They ruled he didn't have possession. Evans again, and here come the Cowboys on that rush. Evans fires down the middle. This one, Mike downs the defender, and Brooks Williams comes down with the football. That one is complete.
Neil Armstrong was telling us that he wanted to get Brooks Williams into the game more, a little more speed, maybe a little better pass receiver than Robin Earl. You see him. See, he's the tight end on the left here. See, he gets his escape, and then again there was a big blitz. He had to get rid of the ball. Evans did, but watch those hands. Now that's something. The way Brooks Williams came back and just put those hands out on that ball.
It's first down Chicago at the Dallas 28. All even at 3. Evans back to Payton. Payton cutting back to the middle, still on his feet. Down inside the 25 to about the 23. Charlie Waters made the stop along with Bob Brunick.
That'll give Walter Payton over 100 yards rushing in this first half. He's been something, and now the Bears are into good mixture. They're running, they're passing, and they have this Cowboy defense a little off balance.
Annie White checking that shoulder out, trying to loosen it up over on the sideline. 2 tight ends for the Bears now. Earl on the right. Nice Cobb on the left. The pitch is back to Payton again. Walter Payton down near the 20 and struggling for more yards.
I'm sure that Walter Payton has been more than half of this Bear offense today. I'm sure he's carried the ball more than half the time.
That was his 17th carry. He has 108 yards, and he's been the whole rushing offense. Suey's carried the ball twice.
You know, Pat, there's a report up on the scoreboard there that says that Danny White has bruised ribs. It looked like his shoulder, but on the scoreboard it said that he has bruised ribs.
3rd and 2. Here's Payton again. Dutton back there to hit him first, and the rest of the Cowboys arrive on the scene in time to knock him backwards. And the Bears will try for the field goal. Randy White was there to help out quickly.
Now, the report that we have from the sideline on Danny White is he has a bruised chest wall.
Bruised chest wall?
Right, but he was throwing the ball, so he looks like he's trying to get it loose or keep it loose.
Bob Avellini. Ravetto from 40 yards out. He's already hit one from 44. Avellini holding. Ravetto pulls this one, and it's wide to the left, no good. And so the score remains Dallas 3 and Chicago 3. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left to play in the first half at Texas Stadium. 4:09 left first half, score tied at 3. And Glenn Carano is the Dallas quarterback. Double tight end set up for the Cowboys. Carano gives to Dorsett straight ahead, stopped by Doug Plank. Carano, the backup Dallas quarterback, is from Nevada, Las Vegas. 6'3", 200 pounds, and they think he has a fine future. Been around 5 years as a backup.
Sometimes he doesn't have a bad present. Remember, we saw him in preseason, and this Cowboy team won't go down an awful lot with Glenn Carano in there.
Lone setback. There's Carano throwing behind Jay Saldi, almost picked off by Gary Fensick, but incomplete.
I'll tell you one thing, this Chicago Bear defense is really active. They're just swarming the ball. The line is rushing. The linebackers are filling holes. The secondary is all over the field. You know, this will be a little tough thing for Glenn Carano with the short week, I'm sure that he didn't get as much practice as Danny White did. And look what Alan Page did to him on that last play. He welcomed him to this game.
Right up in the face.
Ooh, it's been that kind of day.
3rd down and 8. 3:27 left to play first half. Wow, from the shotgun, and here come the Bear blitzers. Pass intended for Hill, incomplete. Todd Bell was the Bear that came closest to Carano.
I'll tell you, they didn't block Todd Bell. They were in that 5 defensive linemen. They have the safety up in there. Todd Bell came through. Carano didn't have a chance. He just had to throw this one, get it away. He almost had it right there. But again, that's pretty good defense there. When the ball's in the air, the defender, Reuben Henderson, has as much right to the ball as Tony Hill did.
Danny White is punting. Or at least he's back in punt formation. Bad ribs, bad chest wall and all.
It's away.
Just off to the side, and now it takes a Cowboy bounce and a honey. Goes all the way down to the Bear. Well, is it ever going to stop? All the way down to the 15, and the penalty marker goes down. A little scuffle.
There's a fight out there.
Anthony Dickerson, one of the Cowboys, in the middle of things. Penalty flag went down.
Anthony Dickerson's one of the leaders on that Cowboy special teams. Now, that was one of those punts that turned over. Ooh, Danny White had a great punt and a great roll, but they're going to tack 15 yards back on it against the Cowboys and for the Bears.
Unnecessary roughness, number 55, after the play, first down.
55 is Danny Spradlin. Let's see if we can find out where it happened.
We'll see him. He's right down here at the bottom of the picture. You see he gets blocked there. In fact, he goes down. He must not have liked that. And let's see what he does. He has to do something now. Hasn't done anything yet.
Evans outside Watts. Watts, the ball comes loose. Mike Downs gets it for Dallas at the Bear 40.
Now these Cowboy fans on Thanksgiving Day come alive, and it's just a matter of time because, again, who leads the league in turnovers? It's these Cowboys, and you know they're going to make something happen.
Up until now, it's been a very quiet first half in terms of the crowd. And a lot of hard hitting. Carano is still the quarterback.
You know, it's really been a quiet Dallas offense. It hasn't been a quiet Dallas defense. Both of these defenses have been very crisp and sharp and hard hitting. The offenses, especially the Dallas offense, really hasn't gotten in gear.
Carano has Dorsett now moving back with Ron Springs. Carano will throw on first down if he has time, and does. And throws low, intended for Drew Pearson. He took it on one hop.
Carano's trying to get loose there. You know, that again, you don't have that relaxation, that freedom of movement in your arm when you come off the bench. And he really doesn't want to throw on those second and third downs because he's getting that ferocious blitz from the Bear defense. So they opted to try a first down pass.
Time remaining first half, 2:52. Bears not showing blitz this time. Second and 10. Handoff Dorsett. Dorsett very nearly gets down to a first down. Tackled by Gary Finsigan. Dorsett is rather slow getting up.
Some good blocking off that right side by the right guard, Kurt Peterson, and the right tackle, Jim Cooper. Probably the most two underrated players on this team.
Peterson looks like a guard, doesn't he?
He looks like one. He fills out that jersey and that uniform pretty good. We were checking him out yesterday in the locker room. He's a man.
Third down 2. Dorsett swings back deep. 3 tight ends for Dallas this time. Salvi was the man in motion. Busted play. Carano struggling to try to get a first down. He's about a yard shy, looks like, as Al Harris leads the Bear defense and throws him backwards. That'll be the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play first half. The score still Chicago 3 and Dallas 3. Rafael Septien, number 1, mouthpiece and all, will try from 50 yards out.
You know, that mouthpiece again is not really to protect his teeth as much as to straighten his jaw, which relaxes him.
Keeps him from hooking it, I guess.
He hasn't done that yet this year. That, you know, he's right on 50 here, and he's 0 for 0. This will be the first one this year that he's attempted from 50 yards or more.
But he's having a great year. Already has 23 field goals this year, a new club record. Charlie Waters holding. High snap, stepped in, will not get it there. Just underneath the crossbar, and no good. The high snap fielded by Waters. That may have thrown him off just a bit.
You know, we were talking about before the Dallas Cowboy offense being flat. You know, they haven't had a first down in the second quarter.
That is the wild card position, the situation at the moment. Detroit's record after their victory over Kansas City today is 7-6. Tampa Bay, you saw following them, and Tampa Bay at New Orleans next week. All that begins with the NFL today. Atlanta at Houston, Giants San Francisco, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. All three of those games with possibilities for changes for wild card positions. Marjoram out wide to the right. Evans fumble. Pulled away from the center a little too quickly. Suey made the recovery.
You know, sometimes the quarterback will get up there. I've seen that happen before. The quarterback forgets the snap count. It's up there and it's on 2. He thinks it's on 1 and pulls out early.
Bears go quickly. Evans has it batted down by Too Tall Jones. He knocked down 2 last week, and he just got another one.
Too tall was too tall for Vince Evans on that one. Let's see if we can watch him here again. Now we see him. He's in a left-handed stance there. See 72. He's against the rookie Keith Van Horn. It is a stunt. See, he's taken the inside. He was double teamed. Matt Suey was there to help, but he gets that right hand up there.
That must look like a mountain coming at you.
Well, you know, Too Tall is about 6'9", and when he gets his right arm up, he's about 7'5".
Evans going deep for Bashnagel. And Brian Bashnagel can't come down with it. Everson Walls right back there with him.
Everson Walls is a name we haven't talked an awful lot about today. Remember early when every time anyone would do a Dallas game, they'd always talk they're going to work on Everson Walls. He's not a rookie anymore.
They worked enough on him to make him experienced.
He's had 3 years experience.
In 12 games. Parsons standing back deep. James Jones back for Dallas. 3-3 score. Parsons gets off a good high kick this time. Jones fields it. Bears down there quickly. Jones almost broke it. He gets out to the 40. He is upset with himself. There are the NFC Central Division standings. Detroit won today, just a half game behind Minnesota now. And the NFL today, don't forget, Green Bay Packers at Minnesota. That will be the first game in the upper Midwestern portion of the country.
The upper Midwest, that's a new word, huh?
Where the Packers come from. Low snap. Around from the shotgun. Fires Tony Hill. Good throw that time. First down Dallas. Reuben Henderson, the defender.
That's the first down that the Cowboys have had this quarter. We watched Tony Hill here. He's working on Reuben Henderson. He gave him a move to the inside and then ran to the out. Henderson didn't really take the move to the inside as much as just hold or stop, and that was enough for Tony Hill to beat him to the sideline.
First down Dallas at the Bear 44. 1:08 left to play first half. Runo with time, throws again. Pearson has the ball come loose, and the Bears have it. Terry Schmidt is the man who raked it loose.
This is really something. We've probably seen more tough hits in the secondary than we've seen all year in this game. I mean, this when look at Tom Landry. He's saying, what's going on here? We have to hold on to that football. We finally get a first down. We finally get our second one. Now watch here. He has possession of the ball, and boom, the ball is just knocked out. Oh, and look at the hit that he takes by Doug Plank after he fumbles the ball.
That's 2 hard hits. 2 hard hits that Pearson has taken. Here's Evans on first down. They had Watts down the middle. Pass is picked off. Steve Wilson has it. He just took it away from Watts.
I tell you, the score is 3-3. It doesn't look like either one of these offensive teams will want to keep the ball. Now, this was not Vince Evans's interception. This one is Ricky Watts'. I mean, he throws the ball. Vince Evans throws the ball as well as you can here. We see Ricky Watts start to the inside. He's man-to-man on Steve Wilson. He gets the ball out there. It was a little out in front, tipped it with his left hand, went right back behind him, and Steve Wilson took it off his back.
So very quickly, the Cowboys have the ball back. 1st and 10 from their own 48. There's Wilson over on the sideline. Toronto operating out of the shotgun with 52 seconds left to play in the first half. Springs in motion. From the Bears with the rush. Toronto for Butch Johnson. Butch has it. Out of bounds at the Bear 25. Taken out by Todd Bell. Good catch.
Todd Bell really had pretty good position on that play, Pat, and he couldn't believe that he was beaten. I tell you, Butch Johnson just got a little extra step there. You talk about a guy that has excitement, that's Butch Johnson. I think he really adds a lot to this Cowboy team. Watch Toronto there. He's watching Johnson all the way. Watch Todd Bell here. He has good position. He goes for the ball, and he still can't figure out how Butch Johnson came up with it.
45 seconds left to play first half. Cowboys move to the shotgun. Toronto will throw without doubt again on first down. Bears blitz. Toronto throws and throws it away in the direction of Tony Hill. Incomplete. Reuben Henderson back there with Hill.
Butch Johnson is complaining to the official that he was hit after that 5-yard area. Look at this. In this first half, we've had 4 turnovers already, and that's why we only have 6 points.
2 field goals. One by Septien, one by Rivetto. And that's been all the scoring. 40 seconds left on the scoreboard clock now. Second down, Dallas. At the Bear 25. Toronto fires over the head of Drew Pearson, who's hit and hit in the back by Doug Plank. And he is really upset.
And Drew Pearson, he is, and rightly so. What he's saying, if I don't have the ball, if I don't catch the ball, they can't come up and hit me. Now watch him here, and he's right. The ball's there. It goes through. Now watch the hit. He's standing there. And, of course, it looked like Doug Plank really didn't try and hit him. He tried to avoid it. But doggone it, Drew Pearson doesn't understand that. He said, they can't hit me when I'm down after I drop the ball.
So it'll be 3rd and 10.
Hey, those Bears safeties are all over this field.
Open. They're not out there to shake hands either.
No.
Salvi in motion. Penalty marker down as Toronto steps up, throws to Salvi over his head. Bruce Herron was covering Jay Salvi. You see the penalty markers against Dallas. Take this one or refuse it?
I think that they're in Raphael Septien's range anyway. I would refuse the penalty.
Illegal shift. Offense, 2 men moving. Refused. 4th down.
I don't think you ever give a team like Dallas another shot at you. I think you refuse it, let them kick it.
Here comes Charlie Waters out. 30 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. Septien being a little closer this time will be 43 yards out. right side of the upright, I believe.
Hey, that's about as close as you can come without being good. That was very close. But it wasn't good enough. It was a good snap, a good hold. He gets the ball down. It's up. There's nothing that bothers him there. And now watch the ball. He expects it to come in. He wants it to come in a little to hook, but it didn't. It stayed right outside that right goalpost. Yep. Well, that's about as thin as you can cut that thing. But see, from the right hash mark, the soccer-style kicker has to bring it in a hooking position.
There's Danny White. Looks like he's got some kind of an ice pack on his back.
On his right, yeah, on that right back shoulder.
25 seconds left on the clock. Bears have all 3 timeouts left. But they'll just run out the clock. Randy White made the tackle. Coming up at the half, Brandon Phillips back in New York. Earlier today, in case you missed it, Detroit beat Kansas City, and the Bears will just let the clock run out. There will be a feature during the half on the Ronald McDonald houses around the country, and what a worthwhile cause that is. Neil Armstrong leads his Bears back to the locker room at the half with his team tied with Tom Landry's. It's Chicago 3 and the Dallas Cowboys 3.
Welcome back to New York.
Oh, Brent, we certainly do. Thanksgiving is a special day when people show their care and affection for others. Right now, such a story is taking place live in Philadelphia. So let's go to the newest member of our CBS Sports staff, Sandy Hill in Philadelphia. Sandy?
Thank you, Phyllis. You know, for most of us, it is very difficult to separate a holiday such as Thanksgiving from home and family. It seems as set as a fine sculpture. But sometimes that just doesn't work out, particularly when there is a serious illness in the family, and it would not have worked out for many of the people that you see here with me today. Bob Knight and his son David are not from Philadelphia, but they have to be here because David is 4 years old and he has leukemia. He has to have access to the doctors at Philadelphia Hospital. The Fenimores are from Maine, and they too have to have access to those doctors because of their 4-month-old son Jordan. So in effect, what's been created here is a new kind of family, a new kind of home. And it really would not have been possible without the efforts of the Philadelphia Eagles, which is why you also see in attendance here Herman Edwards, Tony Franklin, and Charlie Johnson. Now, as a bit of history for all of you, in 1971, the daughter of then Philadelphia Eagle, Fred Hill, was suffering from leukemia, but Fred chose to look beyond his own personal pain and try to do something for others who were sharing that kind of crisis. He got the support of his club, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the result was this house, the Ronald McDonald House. But this was just the beginning, because the National Football League got behind Fred's idea as well, and you might say it launched what has become its most successful expansion program. Today, one can find Ronald McDonald houses in cities throughout the world. There are some 30 in all. Single-family homes, or convents, or old rooming houses converted to serve the needs of families whose children are suffering from serious illnesses, to ease both their financial and emotional burdens.
My wife and I had a leukemia child. And I can say to you that a facility like this will have a meaning to those families that you'll never fully appreciate.
Many families have to travel great distances to get the kind of medical treatment their children need. Until these houses became available, many of them wound up in an often lonely hotel room. Here, they have a home-like environment, and they pay just $10 a day if they can afford to. If not, well, there are always plenty of chores to do around a house filled with children. Besides, these houses offer a unique kind of emotional support. Well, since the first house opened here in Philadelphia in 1974, some 50,000 people have taken advantage of it. One of them is Barbara Dye, whose 6-year-old son is in the hospital even now. And Barbara, as a parent, how important is the emotional support that you get from other parents who are going through similar crises?
It's very important for us parents to be here and talk to each other about our problems. It makes you realize that you have the support of others and that we're not alone.
You have a lot of support here today from some mighty mountainous-looking men. What does that that do for the moral support of all of you?
Oh, it's wonderful. We're all together, and we're happy, and we're together as a family having Thanksgiving.
Terrific. Well, also over here, an Eagle that has not been introduced as yet, Bill Berge, who has been involved in this project since you came to Philadelphia in 1974. Why do you choose to spend Thanksgiving here?
Well, first of all, we're very proud of our Eagles Fly for Leukemia campaign. We just believe that this is really what it's all about, people helping people, enjoying people, and when families can't be together on a Thanksgiving day, you know, and their families are split, what better way than just to get together and, you know, share one another, love one another, enjoy one another. And like I said, Sandy, this is what life is all about right here, people enjoying people.
Well, I know the little lady who's, whoops, the turkey, my goodness. Amy, I know you're a big Eagles fan. You must be glad to be sitting next to this fellow today.
Yeah, it's great. I'd rather be here than at home.
Fantastic. Let's go for that turkey then. It looks real good, gentlemen. It's good you could be here and join us.
Well, it's always thankful on Thanksgiving because it is a day of thanks, and it's even more humbling to me to come to a place of this nature and to be grateful for being around people that are not so fortunate as myself.
Well, we are about ready to indulge in all of this wonderful food, but before we do, from all of us here to all of you there, Happy Thanksgiving!
Oh, that is so marvelous. The parents, the kids, the staff of the Ronald McDonald House, Bill Berge, and all the guys from the Eagles. Good job, Sandy.
Great. It was nice to have Sandy join CBS. Always nice to have nice folks coming to this network. We have another new addition, Billy Packer. College basketball starts on Saturday. Back with Billy and that story as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations. College basketball moves to CBS on Saturday. Most of you will watch Arkansas, Michigan. The rest of the country will see San Francisco, Georgia. Before the year is over, everybody's going to hear from our expert, Billy Packer. Billy, so nice to have you on the CBS sports staff. And you brought along a novel idea, a poll, a basketball poll. Just what the world needs, Billy, another poll.
Well, I think that we don't need another poll, but I think that it's very important for the fans around the country to get an opportunity to meet some of the guys that are going to do the decision process for us this year. We're going to have some outstanding coaches who we have selected around the country, and you'll see them right here. We've broken the nation down just like the NCAA tournament will be broken down. All the conferences represented. There you've got a guy like Jimmy Valvano in the East, you know, the Italian. He voted for St. John's in the 10. Because he wanted an Italian coach. The Mideast, Judd Heathcote, former national champion coach at Michigan State, ought to really be fun to fool around with there. Eddie Sutton will be the coach in our opening ball game down in Arkansas. Outstanding. Of course, Raymar DePaul. Jerry Pym voted for North Carolina. He said, heck, they knocked me out of the NCAA last year. Might as well put them on the top.
Billy, what did the coaches come through a preseason poll? Have you got that you can show everybody?
Well, we do have a preseason poll that we can go, and unlike just about everybody else, they went right along with North Carolina on top, UCLA number 2. But I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't want to open up with that club number 3, Louisville. They've got everybody back from a couple of years ago, and you can see that breakdown. Kentucky right in there 4, and Georgetown. It's going to be an outstanding year for college basketball, and that number 10 team, Minnesota, is going to be out of sight also.
Billy, you have veto power over these coaches if you want to juggle a couple of these?
Well, we can't juggle it all, but Brent, we can go back after them, and we want the fans to get involved with this too. If they don't like what they see, come on after us, because we'll go after these coaches. They'll be on, and we can take a shot at them.
All right. So nice to have you at CBS, and you'll be in the Michigan-Arkansas game on Saturday, right? Oh, that's terrific. We have another of our colleagues who is down at the sidelines, down in Texas, and that would be Irv Cross. Billy Packer says, hey, Irv Cross is in great shape. He could play basketball. Didn't even mention football. Let's come back and talk to Irv.
At Northwestern?
Here's Irv down on the sideline now. Irv, what about the second half? The Chicago Bears are doing pretty well.
I tell you, Brent, the Chicago Bears are really for real. I talked to the coaching staff before the game started, and they said, this might sound crazy, but we feel we can beat the Dallas Cowboys, provided we can make yardage on first down and get them in a situation where they have to be concerned about run or pass. Of course, Walter Payton is playing extremely well, and of course, young Singletary, a middle linebacker, is having a whale of a game. Danny White, by the way, hit in the back, deep bruise. They're x-raying right now to see how bad it is. Brent?
All right, Irv, thank you so much. And the NFL Today continues on CBS with the second half in just a moment.
CBS Sports on a day when our nation should be indeed giving Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you from all of us at CBS Sports. John, the bird.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good turkey.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by
Bears and the Dallas Cowboys have returned to the playing field. The score at the half at Texas Stadium, Chicago 3 and Dallas 3. Once again, good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with John Madden. And John, it's been a tough first half.
Well, it really has. You know, the short week, I think, really affects the offenses more than it does the defenses. And we're really seeing that in the first half. Because the offense is a timing thing. It takes much more practice and time. And the defense is more emotional, and they react. And, you know, there's been 5 fumbles in this first half. It's been that type of half. The offenses really haven't gotten anything going, and the defenses are really attacking.
If you're Tom Landry, what do you tell your team at the half?
I think what Tom would say is, you know, he's always talking about consistency. And I know that he's going to say that we're not consistent. We're not consistent on offense. We have to get something going. And I think they'll start with Tony Dorsett, that'll be the first thing that they'll try to get consistent with, Tony Dorsett and their running game. And then, of course, I think on the Chicago Bears side, they just want to keep doing what they're doing and keep with their mixture, get a little pass on first down, and try and keep that Dallas Cowboy defense off balance.
There's Neil Armstrong. Let's look at the first half stats. The first downs, Cowboys only had 4. The Bears had 6. Yards rushing 118. Of course, most of that by Walter Payton of the Bears. The Bears really controlled things, particularly on defense. Happy Thanksgiving once again. And from all of us at CBS, we extend that greeting to you as well. A very quiet crowd through most of the first half at Texas Stadium. Ravello coming on to kick off for the Bears. The Cowboys will have the football first. Score tied at 3. Tony Dorsett, 10 carries, 38 yards. Walter Payton, 18 carries, 106 yards. He has most of the Bear yardage.
And that's the thing I think that Tom Landry was addressing himself to. We have to get some more running yards. We have to break Tony loose.
James Jones back deep to accept Ravello's kick. One more half of football to go, at least. Tied at 3. The first Bear down to make the tackle at about the 26-yard line. It's Glenn Carano at quarterback for Dallas. In the event you might have joined us late, Danny White had to scramble, got caught in a sandwich hit, got a bruised rib cage, and we don't know how serious it is or if indeed he'll be back. The Dallas offense, with the exception of White, same thing they began with. Dorsett deep in the eyes. 2-3 in motion. Carano will throw on first down and fires outside, intended for Tony Hill. Ruben Henderson came over to break it up, but a penalty marker goes down.
That's Al Jury, the official there. He was right on top of the play, and he was saying that that's pass interference on Ruben Henderson.
Pass interference, defense, number 20, first down.
Cowboys, the line of scrimmage about the 37-yard line. Watch.
Here it is right there. You see, he came in and he looked like he bumped him before the ball got there. That's a very tough call. Ruben Henderson had to do what he did on that play.
First down, Cowboys. That's Springs. Springs had a -2 yards in the first half. He got about 5 that time, so at least he's in the plus side now. Stopped by Al Harris.
You know, maybe that was one of the things that Coach Landry also talked about as halftime, is getting Ron Springs involved in the offense. He really didn't catch many passes or run the ball much the first half, and maybe he wanted to get the mixture that involved Ron Springs.
5 yards for Springs, make it 2nd and 5. Ball at the 43, score tied at 3. Here's Dorsett. Al Harris made the tackle. Singletary really decked Ron Springs as he was trying to block him. Danny White, we are informed, will not return today.
Tom Landry's calling the play there. He's sending it in with Butch Johnson. He tells him to play. Butch Johnson will come in. tell Glenn Carano the play. You just saw it there. It didn't take long to tell him that play, did it?
A lot of pressure on Glenn Carano. Score tied at 3. Cowboys tied with Philadelphia for the lead in the NFC East. 3rd and 7. Springs in motion. Here comes the Bear blitz. Carano goes down. The ball's on the ground. Cowboys fall on it. Doug Plank came in to hit Glenn Carano.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of pressure on Glenn Carano in a lot of ways. This guy here, Doug Plank, just caused it. He comes from the right side. Now look from the right of your screen. He comes from outside in a safety blitz. You'll see him coming into the picture right now. He's not blocked. Carano doesn't see him, doesn't feel him, and look at the jolt that he took. That would have been a fumble, but I'm sure it was recovered by the Cowboys.
Raphael Septien is in to punt. Septien, not bad. Jeff Fisher takes it out of bounds, and the Bears will take over their first possession of the second half. It is still Chicago 3 and Dallas 3. Raphael Septien in the background back there. Just punted. There he is, number 1. Danny White out with that injury to his rib cage, chest wall. 33-yard kick by Raphael Septien. Vince Evans still the Bear quarterback. Schnagel in motion. Walter Payton will carry. Payton cuts back and struggles for about 4 or 5 yards before Harvey Martin trips him up.
You know, that was some run there. That's, you know, only a great back like a Walter Payton could make yardage on that play. It was supposed to go outside. He planted that right foot. His next foot was with the left. I mean, his next step was with the left foot straight up the field. Only that man and some other great ones in this league could make that type of run.
Information is that Danny White is now in the locker room being x-rayed. We'll have more information perhaps. Here's Payton again. Walter Payton gets it across midfield. Michael Downs had to make the tackle, but Payton just surged.
It's interesting the way that the Bears are coming out and starting the same way in the second half they did in the first half. Now watch that little move there, shoulder straight up, but watch the strength that he has. There's Mike Downs making that tackle, and Walter Payton really jolted him when those two collided.
It'll be a first down, Chicago at midfield. 11:30 left, third quarter. Payton again. And he got about 4. Ed Jones draped around his ankle, right behind. Right side of that offensive line, Emmanuel Sanders, the key blocker on that last one.
They're using Walter Payton, you know, to run those inside runs. His longest rush has been 25 yards. As we see here, he really hasn't broken a long one today, nor has he all year.
He got 4 on that last one. They get 2nd and 6. Marjoram wide to the right. Bashnigel to the left. Payton again. And he ducks under a couple of tacklers. Charlie Waters made the tackle. Everson Walls had a shot at him in the backfield, and Payton just skipped away from him.
You know what they did is they took Danny White into the locker room, and they x-ray him. They have x-ray machines. See, he's in there right now. They have x-ray machines in all the locker rooms in the NFL where they can x-ray right on the spot. And that's what they're doing right now.
We'll keep you up to date on what the word is with Danny White. 3rd and 4. Evans gives to Suey on the draw, and he's very close to a first down. Ed Jones made the tackle.
I think that's only about the 2nd time that Matt Suey's had the ball today. But again, that'll be part of the mixture. They want to give the ball to Matt Suey as a changeup off of Walter Payton. And of course, maybe after they get a first down, they may start mixing in some pass here.
It'll be a 4th down. And they're going to go for it. Suey has carried the ball 3 times all day.
And this is the time that, you know, Neil Armstrong says, we're 3 and 9. We have to do it. If we're in this game, we have to do things like go on 4th down.
They go with 2 tight ends, and one of those tight ends, Mike Cobb, went too early. And now they'll have to punt. That will make your hair that color.
That is what will upset a coach. Here he is, a big situation. 4th and inches. It was number 87. He was a left tight end, and he moved before the ball was snapped.
Now they'll have to punt, and Bob Parsons comes on. Instead of 4th and a foot, it's 4th and 5.5.
Watch it right there. You know what happened? I think D.D. Lewis took a little jab step, and Mike Cobb, instead of reacting on the snap count, reacted to D.D. Lewis's movement.
Jones stands back deep at his own 10. Parsons up to 40. Parsons has thrown from punt formation, by the way. 2 out of 5 inside the 20. In fact, he has 2 inside the 10.
I think with a score of 3-3, and when your defense is playing as well as a Bear defense is, I don't think you need those types of things.
Parsons standing at the 40. It's off another high kick. Aiming to the sidelines, and he will get it. Bounces back to about the 11. But Parsons has had some magic on the ball today.
That's the 3rd time he did it. It didn't turn over, but it bounced and stayed and came right back to him.
Still 3-3. They put the ball down at the 12-yard line, where the Cowboys have it 1st and 10 with Glenn Carano at quarterback. Still no further word on what the situation with Danny White is. Drew Pearson split wide to the right. Tony Hill to the left. Here's Dorsett. Dorsett around the corner, being chased and thrown out of bounds by Singletary, way out of bounds.
Watch this again. We'll see Dan Hampton now. He's the defensive end on the side that they're coming to see, and they start out, and he gets blocked by the right guard on that play. Herb Scott, the pulling guard from the left side, and it got his hands down so that Dorsett was able to make that bounce and that jump around the end. Now he's out of bounds there. You have to stop tackling him.
There's Dorsett going the other way. Dorsett may have the first outside the 20. Gary Campbell made the hit. It is a Dallas 1st down.
Tom Landry, he's going to send in Ron Springs with a play now, and I'm sure that's part of his plan, is in this 2nd half is to establish Tony Dorsett.
There is the Bear punter, Bob Parsons. He's had a hot day.
That's why he's smiling.
1st down, Dallas at their own 23. 8:29 left in the 3rd period. The score tied at 3-all. Dorsett again. There he goes. Almost broke it. Otis Wilson made the stop. Dorsett out to the 30.
This Bear defense is very active. They rely on their 2 safeties, Fensick and Plank, to make a lot of tackles. And we were talking earlier about Tony Dorsett. Maybe in the 1st half he won't get as much, but in that 2nd half, when you start to wear that defense down a little, that's when he may get his yards. Of course, Walter Payton already has his.
Yeah, an outstanding 1st half. Here's Dorsett, 14 for 54 now. Again, this time a loss of yardage by Gary Fensick.
We were just talking about how these safeties, this Gary Fensick, as we see right here. Now watch him. He'll be outside on the left. He's what they call the force man. He comes out to the outside. Don't let Dorsett bounce out. He not only didn't let Dorsett bounce out, but he made a great tackle.
Sure did.
That's a formed tackle. Watch him. You see he's coming out to the outside. Just wrap around those knees. That's where you have to tackle Tony Dorsett.
3rd and 7. Clock running now, just over 7 minutes left to play 3rd quarter. 3 wide receivers as Carano goes back in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Carano throws. Incomplete to Drew Pearson as he is cut down again. Reuben Henderson back there with him.
I'll tell you, that Chicago Bears secondary has been all over that field hitting today. Now watch this. Watch, Fensick is zeroing in on Drew Pearson there. They had him inside out, and it looked like Drew saw Fensick coming.
He did take a look. Here's Raphael Septien's second career punt coming up. Rafferty, the snapper. Septien, they rush him. Almost got Septien, and he goes down, but no flag is dropped. Tried to block it, and all very nearly got it.
I'll tell you, if they didn't hit him, they sure... Septien's a great actor. This is only his second career punt in the National Football League. He even steps like a sidewinder when he punts. The ball's off. He wasn't touched. He went down and fell on someone.
Bruce Herron was close to him, but didn't touch him. CSB. That's not where we were. First and 10, Chicago Bears. Ball at their own 45. Payton and Suey, the two setbacks. Payton's the ball carrier. Payton trying to throw the option and will throw. Hangs it high. Walls is back there with the intended receiver, Marjoram, or Marcus Anderson. Marjoram it is.
A little sweetness on that play. He was smiling there. He didn't get it halfway there. I know on that play, he got to the point of no return where he had to throw it. He threw it as hard as he could. And I know that they'll give him heck about that play, because they always do to those halfbacks on their run passes. But if you run like Walter Payton, you don't have to be able to throw it.
And you don't have to apologize.
No.
You can't.
You just smile.
Second and 10. Cowboys expecting a pass. Harvey Martin. Pass is picked off by Too Tall Jones. Dallas ball. Jones fielded it in the air.
Watch this now. I think the Dallas defense figures they have to win the game themselves. Watch him from Vince Evans' backside, his blind side. He doesn't see Harvey Martin come. He hits it. Ed Too Tall Jones was right in position to catch that ball and have an interception.
Dallas gets the turnover. First and 10 at the 35 of Chicago.
That's teamwork by defensive ends, and there's the man that caused it.
Dallas went into the game tied for the lead with Cincinnati in takeaways, and they've added to it today. Springs. He's going to throw. Left-handed thrower. Throws to Tony Hill. Hill bats it around. Interception in the end zone. Reuben Henderson back there with him. They just kept it alive.
That is something. Maybe the Cowboys got the idea from the Bears, but it didn't work from the Bears either. Reuben Henderson wasn't fooled at all. He doesn't go for the run at all. We see Hill. He's supposed to come down and then go act like he's stopping and jog. We see there's Doug Plank. He's right there with him. The ball is up. Now watch. It's tipped. It's up once. It's tipped again by Tony Hill. And by that time, Reuben Henderson was back in position to out-wrestle Tony Hill for the ball.
So the Bears will take over at their own 20. The rookie, his third interception of the year. Chicago 3, Dallas 3, and turnovers are 3 apiece as well. Double tight end set up for Chicago. Payton on first down. Cuts to the outside. Payton with a stiff arm is taken out of bounds, and a penalty marker goes down. They'll call it against Mike Downs.
See, Walter Payton is making some of those same moves that we've seen Tony Dorsett make over the year, where you take that thing inside, hold the defense, and then bounce outside against them.
Face mask violation call against the Cowboys.
Now, this penalty can be 5 yards, which it is here, or 15 yards, depending on the severity.
On a tackle, face mask, 5 yards, number 26, defense, first down.
What it is, if they just touch the face mask and they don't twist or move the head, then of course, it would be 5 yards. If they take it, watch that move. Now watch Mike Downs here. It's okay for Payton to stiff arm him. See, he grabbed him by the face mask. That was a penalty, so he gets that yardage plus 5 yards.
And gets the first down. It's Suey this time. He gets about 3. And is hit by about 4 members of the white-shirted Cowboys. Harvey Martin, the first man there. There is Danny White.
I'll tell you, Danny White is something. The X-ray showed no fracture, but you know what happens when they get hit like that? Sometimes they get a spasm, you know, where everything, that whole side and back tightens up, and you have no motion at all. I'm sure that's what happened to Danny White.
2nd and 8. 5:45 left to play. Ball at the 33-yard line of Chicago. Score tied at 3 apiece. Payton again. Payton wrapped up by Randy White.
Randy White looked like a linebacker on that one. Look at these stats, and they're all the same. Turnovers, Chicago 3, Dallas 3. Score, Chicago 3, Dallas 3.
Good poker hand. Brooks Williams checks into the Chicago lineup, as he does frequently on passing situations. Out comes Robin Earl. Williams, the tight end, on the left side. White. Evans gets away from him, throws, caught by Payton, and he's knocked down. And they'll mark it with him getting enough for a first down. Payton made the leaping catch.
He was hit there by Anthony Dickerson just as he caught the ball. I'll tell you, that's very close to a first down, and we'll see where they're going to spot this ball. Now watch Randy White there. He's double teamed. He gets double teamed all the time. They have the guard blocking him, plus they keep the back in there to block him. Now watch, Payton gets hit by Dickerson right there, and it'll be right there where the ball went down, and it's very close. It is a first down now.
First down, Chicago.
That was a right foot. See, they put the left, no, it was a left foot going that way. If he puts a left foot, it's a first down. If he marks it with his right foot, it would have been short.
First and 10. A left-footed first down. Payton deep in the I formation, and Evans looks and throws. Intended for Bashnagel, and Bashnagel is bashed.
Bashnagel was bashed by Everson Walls. I don't think in any game that we've done this year, Pat, that we've seen hitting in the secondary like we're seeing today. Every time a receiver goes out for a pass, he's really taking the jolts.
On both sides.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2nd and long, and Benny Barnes and Dickerson come into the Dallas lineup, along with Steve Wilson. Payton as they run, and Payton just hurls that body down near a first down again. Michael Downs was the tackler.
Walter Payton can do a lot of things. We know that he can run well. He has quick moves, but he also has strength. And you know, all running backs, you want them at the end to finish off the run. Don't stop when you first get hit. Get another yard, get another half yard, finish it off.
They bring out the sticks again as Payton, running on 2nd and long, comes that close to a first down.
That was a right foot. See, we saw a left foot earlier, and now we see a right foot.
And about a foot short. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left to play. The ball right at midfield. A 44-yard field goal by Rivetto. The Bears 3. A 41-yarder by Rafael Septien.
You know what excuse me, Pat. You know what wouldn't be a bad play here for the Bears? I'm sure they would go for it on 4th down if they don't make it. Is a play pass. Fake a run, try and get the Cowboy defense up and try and get someone deep.
3rd and short. Bashnagel in motion. Handoff is to Suey. And Suey breaks into the secondary and very nearly goes the distance. Waters dragged him down and saved 6.
You know what wouldn't be a bad play, Pat, here? Is to run to Matt Suey to the left side. See, they'll be keying on Payton, bring Payton across the backfield, hand it to Suey inside, and let him pick up the first down. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
That and a play pass.
Or a play pass.
First down, Bears. Line of scrimmage, the Cowboy 35. Clock running at 3:20, third quarter. Bashnagel comes in motion. They hand off to Payton. Payton gets a couple. Is knocked back by John Dutton.
You know, the one thing, the offensive line of the Chicago Bears are really doing a pretty good job of blocking that Cowboy defense. You know, Keith Van Horn has his hands full over there with Too Tall Jones, but he's doing a good job. Emmanuel Sanders at the right guard is doing a good job.
Andy White over with Glenn Carano, who has taken his place as the Cowboy quarterback. They're getting close to field goal range. Vince Evans, the quarterback, on second and long. Kicks back to Suey. Suey cuts back inside and gets down to about the 25-yard line, about a yard shy of a first down, it looks like.
And you know, the block that sprung Matt Suey where he could pick up that yardage was made by Walter Payton on D.D. Lewis. So he really does it all.
Matt Suey of Penn State. Third down, about a foot. Mike Cobb checks in for the Bears. And now I'd say they are at field goal range. Ricky Watts out of the game as they go with two tight ends and Bashnagel in motion. That's Suey, and he has another first down. He just got the play off. Bob Bruning made the hit. First down, Chicago Bears.
You know, the Bears have been called once for the 30-second violation. They started about 3 weeks ago calling the plays from the sideline for Vince Evans. Vince Evans, before that, had been one of the few quarterbacks in the National Football League that called his own plays.
And he says he likes it better this way.
I think he may have even suggested that they do that, because then he can just concentrate on execution.
First down at the 24. Bashnagel again comes in motion. No flag. This is Payton. And Payton struggling for a couple. Bob Bruning. That was Dutton that was very nearly offside, but no penalty marker dropped.
Like John Dutton started, he looked like he was going to a stunt to the inside, and he started a little soon. Now here we see Neil Armstrong, Ted Marcia-Broda to the right, the offensive coordinator, and they call the plays. They'd already sent one in.
Less than a minute left to play, third quarter. Second down and 8. Ball at the Dallas 22. Pitches back to Payton. Payton looking for someplace to go. Still on his feet. Goes down the sideline and out of bounds. Michael Downs knocked him out of bounds. They just can't get him down.
You know one reason? Because he always has his shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. He always has his shoulders square going upfield. And when he's in that position, he's tough. Now, if he were going sideways with his shoulders in this position, now he couldn't. But now watch when he squares up here and gets in that running position. He is very quick and very powerful.
Blocked by Suey out in front of him on Charlie Waters. Mike Cobb limps off the field for the Bears. Like something happened to his right foot. They'll measure again for a first down. Had to take those chains all the way across the field. About that much short. There he goes again.
Yeah, they'll show that to you when they don't do that when it's first down. You know, it's funny, Walter Payton isn't having the great year that he's had in the past, and people were saying that he's lost a step, that he's done this and that, but I think that he's showing people today what he's been saying all along. No, I'm no different. But you know, when you lose, you're 3-9, it's tough. What do you say? You don't want to point fingers, and it's been a real tough year for Walter Payton, but today he's showing what a great back he always has been.
And he hasn't lost anything. Third, about a foot, two tight ends. Brooks Williams and Robin Earl. There goes Bashnagel in motion. The handoff is to Suey, and Suey breaks a tackle. Gets down inside the 10 to about the 6 before Mike Hegman made the stop. They mark it at the 7. First down.
Tom Landry doesn't like this. But, you know, Matt Suey, he reminds me of Pete Banaszak, who we had, that really has a feel for that short yardage where you start in one side. Now watch him here. He's going to follow Payton here to the right. See, now watch that little cutback that he had. You keep your shoulders square, head up, eyes open where you can see, and you feel a soft spot and cut right back into it.
That'll be the end of the third quarter as the Bears charge to the other end of the field. They'll have it first and goal at the 7. One more quarter to go. The score still tied at 3-all. Pat Summerall with John Madden. That's the situation right now. Chicago 3, Dallas 3. Fourth quarter just about to begin. The Bears have it first and goal on the 7-yard line of Dallas. Payton and Suey, the 2 setbacks. That's Walter Payton, stacked up after about a yard, and now he struggles to keep his feet and get another one. John Dutton, the first man there.
I'll tell you, that's some wall to run into. Too Tall Jones and John Dutton. Look at the, you talk about control. You see that time of possession? In this second half, the Bears have really controlled the ball.
They give Payton a yard, so it's second and goal from the 6 now. Vince Evans, of course, is a fine athlete and very capable of rolling out. Certainly in a situation like this, he's a threat to do that. Evans to Payton. Payton cuts back. Doesn't quite get in. He stopped at about the 2 by Bob Bruning.
They had Charlie Waters up there on the force. He was up there. He thought he had Payton. He thought he had him not stopped, but turned in. And Payton gave him a step to the inside and ran right outside of Charlie Waters. He's saying, geez, in all my years, that was one of the good moves. You got it.
Waters was a little bit slow in getting up and limped back to the defensive gathering for Dallas. They put it down at the 2. It's third and goal from there.
The Bears are taking a timeout, Pat.
Evans not quite sure of what he wanted to do. We'll be back with more of the Chicago Bears against the Dallas Cowboys after this word from your local station. Third down and goal for the Bears on the Cowboy 2-yard line. Cowboy head man Tom Landry. Third down. Crowd to its feet. It's Evans rolling out, and Evans will roll into the end zone.
That's one thing about having a quarterback like Vince Evans. You know, Dennis Thurman said of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, probably the best athlete is Vince Evans. And when you get down there on the goal line, you have another dimension. Now watch it here. This was run for Vince Evans all the way. Charlie Waters comes up to the outside. Emmanuel Sanders gets him. It's just a foot race, and Vince Evans gets into the end zone.
And the Bears move in front.
Watch this. You see it's a run all the way. Suey is leading. Sanders is blocking, and Vince Evans is running to the flag.
Avellini will hold for Rivetto. It is blocked. Mike Downs is the one who got it, and Ed Jones might have got the hand on it too.
I'll tell you, that could be a big play in this game. You know, anytime you miss an extra point, it usually comes back to haunt you. Now watch this. We'll see it come from the right side. Right, it was Too Tall Jones. His right arm. Too Tall Jones is 6'9". He gets that right arm. He's 7'6", and boom, he just whapped it right back at Rivetto.
Almost like a spike.
I'll tell you, those things always come back to haunt you. It doesn't seem like a lot at the time. The Bears are ahead 9-3, but that single point will be there.
A lot of time left. 13:39 left to play. The Bears ahead of Dallas 9-3.
But that single point will be there.
A lot of time left. 13:39 left to play. The Bears ahead of Dallas 9-3.
Talking about what they have to do on defense the next time to stop the Bears.
Imagine there's a little joy in Philadelphia right now.
These teams enjoy watching each other. You know, last week there was joy here in Dallas when the Giants upset the Eagles. The week before that there was joy in Philadelphia when Detroit upset the Cowboys. And they just keep having joy switches every week.
Raffetto to kick off. Line drive kick in the direction of Jones. Newsome lets it bounce around. You better cover it. And finally Jones does. And they'll bring it out to the 20. The AFC Central Division standings you saw right there. Don't forget Sunday, the Rams will be in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh with playoff hopes still alive. Starts with the NFL today.
Pittsburgh has Lynn Swann back now, and that Terry Bradshaw, when he gets it going, you know, he can throw 4 or 5 touchdown passes.
Crowd coming to life now. Dallas has the football. Drew Pearson out to the left. Tony Hill split out to the right. Glenn Toronto, the Dallas quarterback. Ron Springs. Springs still on his feet. Outside the 45 to the 47.
You know, this may have all started with Ed Too Tall Jones's block of that extra point. It looked like it livened up that sideline. Maybe it made this offense come to life. See, it's a little fake here. Fakes to Dorsett, throws it out to Sims, but there's a penalty on the play. We'll see it here again. Throws it out to Springs. He gets it up to midfield, but there's a penalty that will bring the whole thing back.
They walk it off against Dallas, and the ball goes back to the 15. Let's see what happens.
Offside, offense, number 80, first down.
Tony Hill jumped and nullifies everything. It'll be 1st and 50. Landry a little disgusted. Cheerleaders a little disappointed. Cowboys a little bit further back. Here's the handoff to Dorsett as he swings around to the outside. Gets back 5 to the 20.
We didn't think that it would happen today, but we know that Tony Dorsett has gained over 1,000 yards, and Walter Payton, look at that, he's the 8th person to gain 1,000 yards this year. He's right at 1,000.
Joe Delaney of Kansas City moves up to 5th place with his effort against Detroit earlier today. Dorsett remains the lone setback. 2nd down. Toronto, the quarterback, drops the throw. Going deep for Tony Hill. Hill has it. Tony Hill tackled at the Chicago 25 by Doug Plank.
And there's no penalty on that one.
This is a great throw by Toronto.
That was a great throw. And Tony Hill, watch him. Here's Reuben Henderson, number 20. He's on him. He's not playing a man-to-man to the inside. See, he thinks he has help inside. And Tony Hill just runs right between Henderson and the safety, Gary Fensick. It's Doug Plank, and Plank made the tackle from behind. But they didn't have any bump on Tony Hill. He just split the seam right between the corner and the safety.
Tony Hill from Toronto. 1st down, Dallas at the Bear 25. 55 yards on that pass completion. Toronto with a lot of time comes out of the pocket. Toronto to the 20 and gets underneath. Al Harris at the 19.
Wonder what Tom Landry was thinking on that run, Pat. You know, Danny White did that, and of course, the hit that he took, he had to leave the game. He sees Toronto doing the same thing. Toronto looks like I escaped that one. I dodged a bullet there, but there's a Chicago Bear on the field.
That's Al Harris who's down. 55-yard shot from Carano to Tony Hill has put the Cowboys back in business. But the Bears lead 9-3. A critical contest for Dallas and for Philadelphia. Tied at 9-3. After this, they'll only have 3 games left to play. By the way, this is the 6th time that Walter Payton has gone over 1,000 yards in his career, and that is a new NFL record. That's Dorsett. He cuts back inside the 10 to about the 9 as Dorsett fencing made the tackle, but it'll be 1st and goal, Dallas.
Went over there on that left side behind Pat Donovan. We'll see it there. We see Rafferty fires out. We see the tight end come down. We see the good lead by Ron Springs, who took the linebacker out so Dorsett could cut to the inside. Dorsett doesn't need an awful lot to get through a hole.
1st and goal at the 9 as Pearson and Hill both split wide to the right. Tight end Doug Cosby is on the left-hand side. Carano on a draw play to Dorsett. He struggles to about the 7 before Jim Osborne takes him down. It'll be 2nd down.
That looked like a little foul up on that play, and it didn't look like it. I think Carano thought that Dorsett was in the I formation, and he was out as a halfback behind the left tackle.
Bear head coach Neil Armstrong in the middle. Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator, signaling to his defense.
You think that's a blitz signal that he just gave him? I bet we see one here.
Bet we do too. That's Pearson in one direction and now back in the other as Carano drops. No penalty markers. It's Pearson. And he is cut down, and I mean really cut down, at the 5.
And it wasn't a blitz. You know, in the first half, the Bears were very, very effective with their blitzing, their linebacker and or safety blitzing. And we'll see here, there's Neil Armstrong. You know, he's really done a good job of holding his team together. And things have fallen apart. They're 3-9, but you don't hear an awful lot of complaining by this team.
Extra defensive men come in. 3rd down and goal for Dallas. They trail by 6. Here's that blitz. And the Bears blitz a little too hard. Todd Bell was the first Bear to make contact. One of the Cowboys on his back.
I think Todd Bell blitzed a little too soon. He knew he wanted to get in that hole. He was getting up there.
Encroachment defense, number 25.
It'll still be 3rd down. That was Rafferty who stayed down a long time. Here it is.
Now watch Todd Bell come up here. You see him coming right in the right of our screen here. He sees Springs going. Now that's encroachment. That's double encroachment.
That's serious.
If you go over the ball, then that's encroachment. If you go all the way into the backfield, that's a double dipper encroachment. But the difference is this puts Dallas in a position where now they can run the ball. That last down would have been a passing down. This can be run or pass.
3rd and 2.5. Tom Landry might have been trying to get somebody's attention and call a timeout. Carano fakes, throws for Cosby, and it's knocked away at the last instant. You got to go field goal now, don't you?
They have to do the field goal. You know, this is a great play by Reuben Henderson. You know, there's 9 minutes to go. Now watch Henderson. He's there on Cosby. Number 20, you see he starts underneath him. Now watch this leap right at the end, and the right hand go up and just tip the ball away from Doug Cosby.
Now Landry has called a timeout, and it looked as if they were going to go for it and not take the field goal.
I would think with 9 minutes to go that they would get the field goal here.
Drew Pearson, Danny White. Now Hill joins the conference to decide what it is indeed they'll do. Well, the Cowboy Brain Trust has made its decision, and it is to go for it. It's 4th and goal from the 2.5.
Neil Armstrong, he doesn't want to watch it. I would expect that we'll see some type of quarterback option run or pass.
Carano asking for quiet. Septien and Landry. Dorsett and Springs behind Carano. The fake is to Dorsett. It's batted away by the Bears and very nearly picked off by Mike Hartenstein. Hill was wide open. So was Cosby in the end zone, but they couldn't get it done.
They couldn't get it past Hartenstein. The Bears had their 5 defensive linemen on the field, and it was an option runner pass. They faked the run. Toronto went to the outside, had the runner pass. He had the pass open, but it was knocked down.
So the Bears will take over at their own 2.5-yard line.
That was a surprise with 9 minutes to go that they didn't take that field goal, because with a score 9-3, 2 field goals would tie, and they still had plenty of time.
And a tie at the end of the year might help them in that race with Philadelphia. 2 tight ends for the Bears. They give to Payton. Payton is smothered by Too Tall Jones. Big Ed all over Walter Payton.
Of course, the one thing they're thinking of here, the Cowboys aren't in bad position because the Bears will have a tough time coming off this goal line. Let's watch Too Tall Jones here. Slam into Van Horn, get penetration into the backfield. Look at him. He just grabs guards and tackles and then finds Payton.
If he's not playing like an all-pro this year.
He really is. And, you know, and a big difference, he plays the run as tough as he wrestles the passer.
The Bears 9, Dallas 3. 8:28 left to play, and the clock is running. Tim Simmons, the Bear quarterback, gives again to Payton. And again he gets a couple, and that's all Randy White. Speaking of all-pro seasons.
Randy White has an all-pro season every season, but these Bears have really been something today. You know, you have to credit the defense and the job and the scrappiness of that group. They've been in there and fought these Cowboys all day.
32 carries, 163 yards for Walter Payton. He'll probably have another one right here. Back in front of him is Suey. Evans throws back to Payton. He will not get the first down, and the Bears will have to kick as John Dutton is the first man to make contact.
That's a day's work for Walter Payton. You know, after this game, of course, they'll have 10 days before their next game, and he'll need it, and they all deserve it.
There's Bob Parsons. Standing in the end zone, James Jones out near midfield for Dallas.
I'd be surprised if the Cowboys come on a block in this position.
One thing you don't want is roughing the kicker, though. Parsons gets off a good one. Jones retreats to the 45, looking for some place to go. Gets around the corner. James Jones down the sideline. Jones puts him in good shape. The ground knocked him out of bounds. But it'll be a first down, Cowboys, inside the Bear 35 when we come back. The score is Chicago 9, Dallas 3.
How does one become a member of the U.S. ski team? First, you have to be...
Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium. The end of a hard-hitting contest between the Bears and the Cowboys, with Chicago leading 9-3. 6:50 left to play. Cowboys have it 1st and 10 at the Bear 37-yard line. Randy White over on the sideline. Lynn Toronto replacing Danny White, the Dallas quarterback. Salvi in motion. Toronto back to throw. Will take off with it. And does. Toronto heading for the sideline. Gets out of bounds at the 26. Enough for a first.
I'll tell you, he saw Gary Fensick coming. He did the right thing that time. But watch him here. He goes back to pass. He really had pretty good protection, but there's no one open. You see, the blocking's there. It's pretty good. He's looking downfield. There's no one there. He can't find anyone. Then he has to take off. Going up. Now he starts up here, starts inside. Now he sees that sideline. Fensick is coming from his left here, and right there he gets out of bounds and doesn't get hit. He's learned.
He got a first down. The Cowboys number 18, their quarterback, Lynn Toronto. Toronto rolls right, looks back left, It's Springs with blockers in front. Springs inside the 20. Springs leaps down to the 10. Gary Campbell made the tackle. What a play.
I'll tell you, Gary Campbell made a great play on that. That play faked everyone out. Now watch what happens. Carano gets the ball, starts out here. The guards pull to the right. Carano goes to the right. The defense goes to the right. The only one out here on this side was Gary Campbell. Now he had to play the whole thing off. Now watch here. Now Springs gets the ball. Now watch Campbell there, 59. He's able to hold him up and make the tackle while some Bears get there.
It is a first down at the 11. They can make a first without scoring. Here's Dorsett slamming down to about the 6. Osborne made the tackle. Cowboys with another chance. Dorsett got 3 perhaps. They mark it at the 6.
You know, that thing that we were talking about earlier, this Bear defense may start to wear down. They haven't yet. There haven't been any signs of it yet, but as we look in that huddle now, you know, it's starting to take its toll.
Todd Bell, Bruce Heron check in.
That means they're playing pass. Bear defense expects pass.
It's second down, 6. They can make a first without scoring. Here's the toss back to Springs. Springs heading